Welcome. My name is Nathan Huisman. I'm a Curatorial Assistant at the Art Gallery of Ontario. My pronouns are he, him. And today, we're going to explore a creative visual description of Pieter Bruegel's Country Wedding, an artwork from the I Am Here exhibition, which is on at the AGO until August 14th, 2022. Although we're meeting in the virtual world, I would like to acknowledge that the land the AGO is on is Mishi Sageg Anishinaabe territory. It is also governed by a treaty between the Mississauga of the Credit and the Canadian government. Toronto is Mishi Sageg Anishinaabe territory. It has also been stewarded by other Anishinaabe, the Haudenosaunee and Wendat confederacies. So what is creative visual description? Audio description is spoken or written language, either recorded or live, describing visual images or objects, enabling blind and partially sighted audiences to engage and pursue their own journey in things like theater and film, performance, and visual art. While television and theater use pure audio description, for visual arts, we're lucky that we can take on creative approaches. This involves interpretation combined with description and close looking. This helps account for the subjective nature of visual arts. This form of audio description is often called creative visual description. AGO art educators typically include the technique of creative visual descriptions in AGO multisensory tours. When describing, they establish an initial sense of the artwork, the overall composition, how the eye is drawn towards different elements, how the artist's materials are used and their effects, all in order to form an understanding of the artwork. In a tour context, this description process involves a lot of conversation, questions and answers, and accounting for multiple perspectives. These descriptions are created with a diversity of people working together. Today, I'm going to share a creative visual description that we've been working on for Pieter Bruegel's Country Wedding, which is part of the I Am Here exhibition. But I'm going to tell you a little bit about the I Am Here exhibition first. I Am Here is a brand new exhibition curated by the AGO that examines the universal need to capture, share, and cherish the everyday, from cave drawings all the way to TikTok videos, featuring lost and found home movies, snapshots, photo albums, letters, television, grocery lists, social media. I Am Here brings together a broad range of personal records from different time periods and locales to explore the shared human impulse to document life as it happens. One of my favorite things in the exhibition is a digital collage of more than 3,000 submissions received from AGO followers all around the world. It's really very cool. Getting back to what we're doing today, here's the visual description. And part of the creative visual description is that I'm actually going to describe myself. I'm sitting in one of the rooms inside the AGO. I'm wearing a white t-shirt and I have an AGO lanyard and badge with multiple colors, almost like a rainbow. I have short brown hair, a short beard, and a mustache, and I have blue eyes. In terms of the artwork, we'll start with the label information. The label reads, Pieter Brueghel the Younger, Country Wedding, 16th, 17th century, oil on wood, Art Gallery of Ontario, gift of Mr. and Mrs. W. Riedelmeyer, 1940, number 2557. So Pieter Brueghel the Younger, he actually carried on the art making tradition of his father, who died when the Younger was 4. Pieter Brueghel the Younger was born in Brussels, Belgium in 1564, and died in Antwerp, Belgium in 1636. So let's look closely at the artwork itself. So the scene is set in Europe during the 1500s or 1600s and features a country wedding within a wooded glade. Our perspective is that we are looks like we're approaching the glade on foot, as an incoming guest to this wedding might also do. As we take the artwork in, sort of broadly speaking, we see about 50 or so people celebrating here in this rustic setting. The guests appear to be dancing, some are eating, some are drinking, some are playing musical instruments and embracing each other. There's this definite implied sense of motion and movement. It's a cacophony of celebration, and there's just an abundance of energy all around. The bride themselves can be spotted near the center of the crowd and near the center of the artwork, denoted by their crown and the ceremonial fabrics strung above them. The bride is sitting at a table, and some wedding guests are making offerings of what look like coins onto a plate in front of the bride on top of the table, while other guests sort of look on and look at that scene. Other scenes depict people drinking gregariously from large jugs, tilting the bottoms of the jugs up high to have a very large drink of whatever might be inside. People dancing have their feet in the air as if they were painted, mid-stride, and everyone sort of seems frozen in motion here. Of the approximately 50 guests or so in the painting, most of the guests are wearing clothes associated with working class laborers of the time period and location, which is Belgium or the Netherlands, that part of Europe, sort of around 1500 or 1600 in that sort of century. They're typically wearing earth-colored tones such as browns, greens, and grays, but some figures wear garments that stand out in this rustic forest setting. They have contrasting fabrics of sharp, bright reds or whites, or piercing yellows or stark blues. The ground itself is a grassy glade. You can see that there's some sort of tromping down grass on the ground. There are trees, bushes with white flowers in the background and around the scene. And there are hut-like structures that are shown in the far background. At the very top left, a small bird seems to just have sort of darted into the corner of the painting. In the bottom left foreground of the painting, so close to us, our eyes are drawn to a male figure dancing alone. He's sort of got like an open-armed, open-legged posture. He's wearing a red hat and red pants with a codpiece, and a black belt with a small knife or tool attached to it, and an off-white shirt and a long off-white coat as well. His face and body are visible to us. The male figure is looking to his left, which is our right, and they're gazing with a look of concern or perhaps longing over at a group of other people dancing next to them on the bottom right of the painting. Within that group, another male figure appears prominently, almost strutting, dancing in front of a woman. This standing woman is wearing an off-white dress with a red layer visible in parts underneath that really sort of stands out. She's wearing bright white fabric covering her hair. The man dancing and strutting is wearing bright yellow and white clothes. And that woman standing opposite him is sort of depicted with her back to us, the viewer. Her face is out of view to us, except for a slight profile view that we can see. It seems like she's standing defiantly with her hands on her hips, facing away from us and towards the strutting man. Amongst this group, another woman is sort of leaning in from her dance partner, her eyes upon the strutting man. When I see that first person, that figure with that red hat and red pants by themselves in the bottom right, looking over at that other group of dancers on the bottom left, I see the expression on that lone dancer's face, and it reminds me of timeless moments that might feel familiar to a lot of us, where maybe you feel, out of the group, feeling like maybe you're on the outside looking in to a situation that you want to join or that you want to be a part of, and maybe you're feeling a bit left out, perhaps. Looking at the faces of other guests at this wedding, little stories like that seem to be present with all of the guests in this painting, who are dancing together, talking, drinking, and embracing. The atmosphere throughout the painting is celebratory, with various scenes of revelry and merriment that feel melodious and energetic. So there are around 100 versions or so of this painting believed to be in existence. Due to a process of serial reproduction employed by the artist Pieter Brueghel the Younger, some of the other reproductions may have slight variances, such as changes in the colors of the garments depicted, or slight changes in facial expressions represented on the faces. This means that even though this piece is from a series of works that are reproductions of each other, each version remains slightly unique. So if you bump into another one of these in your travels, let us know on social media. This piece is located in the Dance to the Music section of the I Am Here exhibition. The painting captures the seemingly timeless and universal impulse to move our bodies and dance. Thank you for watching and listening. I encourage you to check out the other audio descriptions in the exhibition on the exhibition webpage, or try writing your own descriptions. You can share them in the comments below this video or at #AGOMakes. Thank you very much.